There is an ancient book, older than most kingdoms, older than most churches, and once read by early believers across the ancient world. A book that speaks of fallen angels, giants walking the earth, and a world so corrupted that heaven itself intervened. It is called the Book of Enoch. And for centuries, people have asked one question: why was it left out of most Bibles? Because this is not just a story about the past. It is a story about power, rebellion, judgment, and the thin line between heaven and earth. The Book of Enoch is not included in most modern biblical canons. Yet it was never truly lost. Ancient Jewish communities knew it. Early Christians were familiar with its themes. Fragments of it were discovered among the Dead Sea Scrolls. And even today, one ancient Christian tradition, the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, still preserves it as sacred scripture. So why did most traditions leave it out? Not because it was unknown, not because it was meaningless, but because it raised difficult questions about angels, about evil, and about the hidden history of the world before the flood. To understand the book, we must first understand the man behind it. In the Bible, Enoch appears only briefly. Genesis tells us that Enoch walked with God, and then he was no more. Because God took him, there is no story of his death, no burial, no grave, just a man who lived so closely with God that he simply disappeared from the earth. Ancient readers became fascinated by this mystery. If Enoch walked with God, what did he see? What did he learn? What truths might he have carried beyond the world of men? The Book of Enoch claims to answer those questions. According to its writings, Enoch was shown visions of heaven, of judgment, and of events that happened long before Noah ever built the ark. One of the most shocking stories in the book is the story of beings called the Watchers. The Watchers were described as angels sent to observe humanity. They were meant to watch, to guide, and to report back to heaven. But something changed. They became fascinated with human life, fascinated with human emotion, fascinated with human beauty, and then they crossed a line. The book describes how these angels descended to earth and took human wives. In doing so, they broke the boundary between heaven and earth, a boundary that was never meant to be broken. Their children became known as the Nephilim, giants, powerful beings who walked among humanity. But the danger: